Hey guys, it's Tombox here, and since we're getting closer and closer to the WCQ, I for one am going to tone down on the video content for a bit, just so that my schedule's a little bit more freed up so I can practice with the fam. I am going to be attending WCQ, so Nats, I will see you guys there. But until then, I will be toning down the video schedule, so once I'm back, I'll get back in gear. Probably come back with a vlog or two, but yeah. Now today's video is going to be another competitive segment about Zodiacs. I know you guys are pretty sick about Zodiacs, but we need to know what they're capable of and how we just stop them, or else, well, you're gonna let them reign free, and I think that's a bit more annoying. So what do we know so far? Well, since the June 12th ban list, the pure Zodiac variants, well, basically got their plays cut down by about 2 plays. They lost the ability to recover an extended play using Norden, well, everyone lost Norden, and the other play would be the ability to use Terror Top consistently and Taketomborg to make MX Saber Invoker, because, well, Terror Top got limited to 1. So, fair enough, you cut down 2 plays, so the only real thing you really worry about for a Zodiac deck would be a normal summon of a Zodiac monster and a special summon, usually in the form of Barrage. That sounds fair enough, and both these cards can usually be stopped with a Ghost Ogre or an Ash Blossom Joyous Spring. And usually it just cuts them down to size. Once they got stopped by these 2 cards, their turn normally kind of ends at that point. However, that doesn't seem to be the case when it comes to European Nationals this past weekend, when pure Zodiacs, not True Draco, not the other variants, pure Zodiacs took 31 spots out of 32. Correct me if I'm wrong, and this is just based off sources that people have been telling me. And honestly, that came to me as a bit of a surprise, but what it comes down to is, are we able to extend our play further than ever? And there's one card that completely slipped everyone's mind, and I'm going to be talking about it today. And also be talking about a counter card, because we just can't talk about how strong they are, we gotta talk about how to counter them. But the card that kept them going was Shuffle Reborn. From Dimensions of Chaos, this common card that kind of eluded everyone because everyone kind of thought it was trashy. And to be honest, it kind of was until you really think about it. Shuffle Reborn. Let's read the card text. So, if you control no monsters, that's the condition, target 1 monster in your graveyard. Special summon, so it could be targeting any monster at this point, but its effects are negated, and also banish it during the end phase, so it has some sort of an emergency teleport condition. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 card you control, shuffle it back into the deck, then draw 1 card. Also, during the end phase of this turn, banish 1 card from your hand. You can only use this effect of Shuffle Reborn once per turn. Let me talk about how good this card is in the aspects of a Zodiac player. So, this card is good for mainly 2 reasons. I'm sure there are more reasons why this card is amazing, but just by reading the card effect, we can tell that this is our Norden replacement. In fact, there are some aspects of this card that makes it slightly even better than Norden. For one, it doesn't carry the Norden weakness to a Zodiac Trident. Say you revive a Zodiac Ram. That Trident is not going to pop that Ram at all. Why would it bother? Because you're just going to revive another dude if you do pop it. So in other words, it lets you get into your Xyz play a little bit faster and a little bit more unhindered. I believe the Reborn effect is not once per turn. You can activate multiple copies of this card. And the ability to shuffle a card back in to draw 1, and then you have to banish 1 card from your hand, that is not limited to the turn that it is, well, not sent to the graveyard. Well, basically, what I mean by that is, certain cards, when they sent to the graveyard, you can't activate the engrave effect right away. This one does not have that condition, so you can use this card to clear Flying Seas. And you can use it to clear Flying Seas pretty damn quickly, if you ask me. And this card, it's free body. There's no restrictions whatsoever preventing you from playing any further. It doesn't stop you from special summoning any further. It does not, stop your battle phase. So unlike Soul Charge, which will kill your battle phase and cost you a lot of life, this one will not do that. Of course, you only revive 1 target, but as a Zodiac deck, you only care about the Zodiac name. You can revive a Ram, and the only way that this monster will be banished is during the end phase. So if your opponent destroys it, it still goes to the graveyard. So there's tons of benefits, and having the built-in counter to a Flying Sea, that is huge, because Flying Sea was one of the biggest stop for like biggest hand traps to counter a Zodiac deck, and if you take that away from them, that just means one less hand trap to deal with, one more card that they can draw. Sure, they have to banish a card from hand, but if they can actually gain that massive advantage that a Zodiac deck is known for, then losing one card from hand is a very small minus if you think about it, a very small price to play to be able to play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! For them. And what if they set all their cards? They can't banish a single card in their one hand anymore, so they can't fulfill the rest of the condition. Who cares, because it happens at the end. Well, that's why this card is a replacement, and it gave them that extra extension even if you burn through 2 hand traps, and they can continue to play through with a Shuffle Reborn. If they play that Shuffle Reborn, you're going to suffer, especially if you Ghost Ogre that rat, which makes a Ghost Ogre rat play not exactly the most ideal play. But that does come with a counter. Since people are going to be playing Shuffle Reborn, should we counter it with, say, a DD Crow? There's tons of things to actually do to counter it, but DD Crow is the first card that comes to mind. Maybe we should consider siding this, or maybe we should just prevent them from playing the extra deck altogether by using Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries. And apparently that was also one of the MVB cards that people love to play. So DD Crow isn't the second card I want to talk about. DD Crow was just me wanting to give you guys a quick adaptation to people playing Shuffle Reborn, but the second card I want to talk about is Forbidden Apocrypha. So this trap card is a really good way to act as a board wipe against people playing a ton of Xyz monsters, namely Zodiac. So let's kill more Zodiacs with this. Now let's read the card effect here. It states that declare 1 extra deck monster card type, Fusion, Synchro, or Xyz. If 2 or more monsters of the declared type are on the field, make each player send all monsters of that type from their field to the graveyard. So first thing to note is it is send to the graveyard, not destroy. Sending to the graveyard, therefore it will not trigger my body as a shield when it is activated, and you potentially clear a Trident, Emerald, maybe even Tornado Dragon. If they greed with a Tornado Dragon, try to pop your back row and they target your Forbidden Apocrypha, good for you. Snipe all that off the board, and that opens a clear board for you to play with. Of course, there is an alternative that people were considering playing, which would be Xyz Universe. Xyz Universe is extremely powerful, especially decks that run heavy back row. By you simply putting, or your opponent simply putting 2 Xyz monsters on the field, you can activate this card, and basically your opponent will be eating a DDD, what was this, Kali Yuga? You can blow up their entire back row. And yeah, that makes for a really crappy end phase for anyone on the other side having all their cards being destroyed. But Forbidden Apocrypha, definitely a really good choice because you can also clear off Synchros as well if your opponent plays Synchro heavy. Just has that extra bit of utility that you need. And I don't know if there's any decks that are currently Fusion heavy at the moment. That's not something I'm currently aware of. I think most decks are just Xyz, and occasionally you'll probably see the Synchros from maybe the Dino players. But yes, Forbidden Apocrypha, that also saw a lot of play, controlled Zodiacs very well. I would expect this card, especially to interrupt people midway through their combos, or when the Trident hits the board, this is the card to see, and basically shut down the entire board. But note that they do need to control 2. There needs to be at least 2 on the board. If you have 1 and your opponent has 1, good enough, you can actually wipe the board. That's something that if you as a Zodiac player, you'll need to learn to play around, because you don't want to lose your board by just overextending. And the word overextending have different meanings depending on what's in the meta. If you're overextending into certain traps could wipe your board, that would be considered a form of overextension as well. But anyways, that's all I got for today. If you guys I'm gonna try to keep you guys up to date with the latest techs and everything as much as I can. I'm trying to get as much practice as I want. I'm not gonna tell you guys what deck I'm playing because I am still currently choosing myself. But okay. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit me with a thumbs up. I've got other content that are mainly just to entertain you guys coming up. I will keep you guys up to date as much as I can. And if you like this video, please hit me with a thumbs up. There's also a subscribe button somewhere down here. If you want to see some of the older videos, they're just over there. And yeah, have a nice day, you guys, and I'll see you guys as soon as I make another video. Until then, hold on to your MST.TV.